A man named Brad lives alone with his two cats. But one night, he captures something that may explain why one of them became terrified of his bedroom.
So my cat's been watching that door for a while now. Oh. Oh no. Oh, this apartment, man. Freakiest place I've ever been. Butter, get out here. Oh, I can't do it anymore.
In the footage, the bedroom door slowly opens on its own. The cat notices, but as it stares toward the room, a dark shadow figure can be seen, standing inside. Barely visible in the doorway, but clear enough to make the moment deeply unsettling. Then, just moments later, the figure appears lower to the ground, almost as if whatever was inside the room had crouched down or moved closer to the floor, while watching from the darkness. At first, the cats do not seem to panic. But according to Brad, after this happened, they refused to go inside the bedroom again. Instead, they would stop at a distance and stare toward the room, as if they could still sense something hiding in there. So did Brad's camera capture a real shadow figure inside his bedroom? Or was it just a trick of the lighting? Whatever it was, his cats seemed to know one thing for sure. They did not want to go back in. A man named David recently shared a series of experiences that have completely destroyed his sense of safety inside his own home. At first, he believed everything was connected to a single object. A doll. According to David, whatever seemed attached to it didn't feel violent in the beginning. Instead, it felt distressed, emotional, almost desperate. On multiple occasions, he says he heard a voice coming from the doll, repeatedly calling out the name Daniel. Not shouting, more like pleading. Some viewers believe the voice could be asking for forgiveness. Others think it's reliving a traumatic moment. Trapped in a loop, it can't escape. One night, hoping to distract himself from the growing tension in the house, David sat down to watch. Friends. But even the familiar laughter didn't help, because suddenly he heard a voice. Watch closely.
Está inquieta, Suki. Saben que me duermo así por el calor que me da. ¿Escucharon? Sí. Y se me... Me tiene como miedo. Ay, no. Otra vez. Otra vez la pinche ventana. Siempre muestro para que vean que no hay nadie. Nadie, ni nada. Y está bien inquieta Suki desde hace rato. ¿Qué pasó, mamá? Pasan de las 2 de la mañana apenas. Yo no sé qué pedo. ¿Vieron cómo se abrió la puerta, no? Se tiene que abrir así. Suki. Suki. Ven, mi amor.
This time, the voice clearly calls out David's name, and what follows makes the situation even more disturbing. David's cat begins acting strangely, freezing in place, staring into empty space, reacting to something David can't see. When he goes to check the window, he sees something that stops him cold. An unnatural figure appears to be standing outside. Moments later, there's knocking at the door. David says this wasn't the first time something like this had happened. He claims it's the fourth face he's seen around his home, and one of the most frequent and most unsettling is the face of an old man. Take a look.
Son 1:56 de la mañana. Me desperté porque sentí una mirada en mis sueños. Y me han dicho que no me intente comunicar con ellos. No quiero preguntarle quién es. Yo me duermo con la tele encendida. Alexa, luz del cuarto blanco frío. Se escucha así por el ventilador. No hay nada. No.
If you watch carefully, the shape clearly resembles an elderly man moving. David panics when it looks like the figure might be trying to stand up, as if it's getting closer, but that's not the only detail viewers noticed. Several people pointed out something else near the window, something that suggests David might not be dealing with just one presence. Still, many believe everything leads back to the doll. Some speculate it may be acting as a kind of doorway, allowing multiple entities or manifestations to pass through, each appearing in a different form. So viewers ask David to show the doll, and where he keeps it. Take a look.
Bueno, chicas, bueno, chicos, para los que me pedían que querían ver la muñeca en los lives, acuérdense que hago lives casi todos los días, jugando videojuegos de terror y tal. Entonces, me pedían que enseñara dónde está la muñeca. Este es mi cuarto donde trabajo y todo, al igual que en el otro, que es este de aquí. Es aquí. Pasó de ser cuarto de invitados a ser el cuarto de la muñeca, ¿no? Entonces, para los que me estaban diciendo que la grabara y todo eso, aquí está. ¿Sangró más? O no sé qué carajo sea eso. Yo ya no pienso que sangre, sino miren, hasta se le escurría por los ojos y todo. Los que sepan de esto pues ya sabrán lo de cómo regresó y todo. No le hagan caso a eso. Eso lo tengo porque acuérdense que trabajo para YouTube y tal. No le hagan caso. Hace ratito grabé algo y así está. Y me decían que lo pusiera en el Salmo 92. Ahí está. Lo leí, todo eso. Pero cada vez que se entra a este cuarto, pues sí se da como mala Mala vibra y todo. Sí se siente un ambiente pesado. Curioso, las hojas empiezan como a doblar. Ya vieron, deberían de estar así parejitas como ahí, pero solo de ese lado como que se doblan. Entonces, pues pasó esto, de ser un cuarto de invitados, está ya una tele y todo, a ser el cuarto de la muñeca. Y a veces trabajo aquí, lo cual es más jodido porque siento como que la presión de eso, pero en fin. Para los que querían verlo, ahí está. Chido One. Vámonos que aquí es pan. Ven. Por eso cuando me dicen en los directos que haga tal cosa y demás. Y yo siempre muestro así todo para que... Porque luego no faltan los sonsos que dicen, ay, es que hay alguien escondido. ¿Y dónde? ¿Dónde hay alguien escondido? ¿Dónde? 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 Estos son cables que tengo aquí de mouse y de cosas que no uso. ¿Dónde? Aquí hay cajas que tienen porquerías que no usamos. Mira cómo está la Biblia. ¿Vieron cómo se movió? Estaba acá. Y para los que me dicen que la queme o que la rompa o algo así.
David reveals that the doll has been locked inside a guest room, secured in a cage. He even placed a Bible on top in an attempt to contain whatever might be attached to it. But while he's explaining this, something unsettling happens. The Bible suddenly falls off. And worse, the doll has changed position. David says many people have urged him to burn it. Others say it should be buried. But he's also been warned that destroying objects like this can make things far worse. There are countless stories of haunted dolls being burned, only to reappear later. So if you were in David's position, would you destroy it or keep it locked inside the cage? In the early hours of the morning, CCTV footage inside what appears to be a salon or training space captures something unsettling. It's just after 4 a.m., long after anyone should be inside, and the room is completely still. No movement, no sound. Then, without warning, the camera suddenly detects motion, and what it records is chilling. The fire exit door slowly swings open on its own, revealing nothing but darkness beyond the frame. N01 steps inside. Nothing moves. After hanging open for a moment, the door calmly pulls itself shut, inch by inch, as if guided by an unseen hand. Just as the room goes quiet again, one of the mannequin heads, lined neatly on a shelf, suddenly tips over and crashes to the floor. Seconds later, several items on the counter beneath are swept off in rapid succession. No explanation, no visible cause. Whatever opened that door didn't leave quietly, and it clearly wanted the owners to know it had been there. A woman says that ending her relationship didn't bring relief. It made things worse. According to her, her ex-boyfriend had something dark attached to him, something his own family spoke about casually, as if it were normal. That was when she started connecting the dots. The unexplained electrical problems in his house. Objects shifting on their own. Strange incidents the family had quietly lived with for years. Then, after the breakup, she captured this clip, filmed while the two were no longer together, and it convinced her that whatever had been there hadn't stayed behind.
to this mother. It's just happening. What?
She says this wasn't the first incident, and not even the most disturbing. Later, she described what happened to his sister, waking up one morning to find her puppy dead, and every plant in the house completely withered overnight. While she was still living there, the woman experienced sudden cold spots, locked doors creaking open on their own, and shadows moving where there was nothing to cast them. Some nights, it felt like something was walking from room to room. Now that she's gone, she believes that presence has followed her. Many call it a jumper, something that doesn't stay tied to one house or one person, but moves, feeding on stress, conflict, and emotional turmoil. Whether it attached itself to her or chose her, she doesn't know. But based on this footage, one thing feels clear. Whatever was haunting that family may not be done with her yet. Late one night, Jake was filming when he suddenly ran into his sister's bedroom, holding a bottle of hot sauce and clearly expecting nothing unusual to happen. Laughing, he swings the camera toward the bed, but his tone shifts almost instantly. Sitting beside his sister is a teddy bear, and the moment Jake speaks, it slowly tips over on its own. Jake points it out, telling her the teddy just fell. She barely reacts, calmly asking what, as if nothing happened at all. Then something far worse happens. Take a look.
Alright, Paula, hot sauce? Or say something embarrassing. Paula, the bear just moved.
What?
Without anyone touching it, the teddy suddenly jerks and slides toward the center of the bed. That it doesn't roll or fall naturally. It moves in a single aggressive motion like it was pushed. The shift is fast, forceful, and completely wrong. Both of them panic instantly. There's no laughter now, no jokes, just shouting as Jake pulls the camera back. They scramble off the bed and bolt from the room as the footage cuts out. Viewers later pointed out how unnatural the movement was, especially compared to the first fall. Jake insists neither of them touched the teddy, and that nothing like this had ever happened in that room before. To this day, he says it's one of the most unsettling moments they've ever captured on camera. This footage was recorded inside a quiet family home after several nights of something unsettling happening outside. Night after night, they heard footsteps moving past their windows, not hurried, not random. Slow, measured, almost deliberate, as if someone was walking the perimeter, stopping, then continuing again. At first, they tried to explain it away, maybe a neighbor, maybe an animal. But the sounds kept coming back, always late, always close. Then one night, as it started again, the mother finally called the police. While waiting for them to arrive, the footsteps moved closer. And then, there was knocking. That's when she pulled out her phone and started recording. Take a look.
Regina, están tocando. Género. Ya le hablé a la policía. Y ahorita va a venir. Tráeme un palo, Regina. Tráeme algo, tráeme algo. Va a venir ahorita la policía, corre. ¿A qué estás molestando aquí? Ya te habías ido. ¿Qué quieres? ¿A quién quieres? ¿A quién quieres? ¿A Regina o a quién quieres? ¿Cómo que a mí? ¿A quién quieres? Vete de aquí. Vete de aquí. Se paró. ¿Quién chingados eres? ¿Quién te mandó?
By the time officers arrived, everything had stopped. No footsteps, no knocking. No one outside. The house was completely silent. The only evidence that anything had happened at all was the video she captured. After the clip spread online, viewers began to notice a disturbing pattern. Some suggested the footsteps weren't random at all, but repetitive, like someone tracing the same path over and over again. As if they knew the property, as if they had been there before. Whatever was outside that night didn't seem confused or lost. And with no clear explanation, the footage remains just as unsettling now as it was then.
¿Quién chingados eres? ¿Quién te mandó?
A family's dog suddenly begins acting strangely, fixated on something no one else can see. Its eyes follow an empty space in the room, body tense, refusing to look away. Whatever has caught its attention clearly isn't visible to anyone else. Watch closely.
You crazy?
Two things immediately stand out. First, the family doesn't seem alarmed. They brush it off, suggesting the dog is reacting to a noise or just acting out. And second, when the dog grows more agitated, they quietly shush it, something that made many viewers uneasy. Some believe animals sense changes in their surroundings long before humans ever do. What makes this even stranger is that only one dog reacts. So what do you think? An overreactive pet, or the only one in the house that noticed something was there? The homeowners were doing something completely ordinary. They were in the garage, feeding their cat, and nothing seemed out of place at the time. No strange sounds, no uneasy feeling, nothing that caught their attention. It wasn't until later, when they replayed the footage, that they realized something else had been there with them the entire time. Watch closely.
Buddy.
At first, many viewers were quick to dismiss it as a reflection. But before settling on that explanation, there's something important to notice. This is what the garage looks like during the daytime, that there's no window in that area, no glass, no reflective surface that could produce a figure like that. The empty space you see is exactly where the car was parked in the original clip, and the red circle marks the precise spot where the unidentified shape appeared. Some believe it could be a residual presence, something replaying an imprint of energy, rather than actively interacting with the space. Others pointed out the cat's behavior, noting how it seemed aware of something the homeowners weren't. Of course, skeptics argue it could still be a lighting issue, or a rare camera glitch. The homeowners say they've never experienced anything unusual in the house before, but now that they've seen this, they can't stop thinking about it. Was it a one-time glitch, caught at just the right moment, or something that's always been there, only now revealing itself? You decide. Late one night, a security camera captures a long, dimly lit hallway stretching deep into the building. At first, the footage appears empty, filled only with the faint static hum of the feed. But then, at the far end of the corridor, something pale begins to take shape. A white figure slowly forming out of the darkness.
I sprayed the... How can you do that? Keep forgetting about it.
This looks like she's floating, Bob. Is that it?
Oh God, that gives me the creeps.
Yep.
How can you do that? Keep forgetting about it.
This looks like she's floating, Bob.
How can you do that? Keep forgetting about it.
This looks like she's floating, Bob.
Oh God, that gives me the creeps.
Yep.
It doesn't walk. It glides, floating forward without a sound, without footsteps, without a shadow beneath it. The figure drifts toward the corner, then turns and vanishes from view. Seconds later, the feed switches to another camera inside a nearby room. The same shape is already there, gliding across the frame before disappearing once again. When security reviewed the footage, They were shaken. No motion sensors had been triggered, and there were no signs of forced entry. Whatever this was, it moved through locked doors and camera zones, as if the walls themselves didn't exist. Late one night, a man returned to his studio after realizing he'd left his phone charger behind. It should have been a quick stop, in and out, but the moment he reached the entrance, something felt off. What happens next turns a simple mistake into something far more unsettling. Watch closely.
¿Qué les dije? ¿Qué les dije a la verga? Miren, voy a entrar. Miren, para que vean que no hay nadie adentro. Todo en una toma. Ay, perdón con mis 20,000 vueltas, pero es una llave de seguridad. Miren. O sea, no ha salido nadie, miren. No mames.
According to him, the studio hasn't felt right ever since he moved an old mirror into the bathroom. Almost immediately, small things began to change. Objects weren't where he remembered leaving them. Strange sounds echoed through the space. And even when the studio was empty, he couldn't shake the feeling that he wasn't alone. But the mirror isn't the only detail viewers focused on. Many quickly noticed a doll inside the studio as well. Some believe the mirror wasn't the cause at all, just the trigger. Something that disturbed whatever was already there. So, is the mirror the doorway? Is the doll the vessel? Or is the studio itself tied to something that's only now revealing its presence? You decide. An Amazon delivery driver named Leah was recording her route while picking up packages from a local storage facility that she'd been working the same stop for months, and nothing unusual had ever happened before. But on this day, the moment she stepped inside the building, she says, something felt off, not dangerous, just wrong. And she had no idea that feeling was about to be justified.
These people think I'm crazy. Y'all, look at this shit. Just look. You see that shit? Y'all seen that shit? Yo, watch this. Got it on camera. Thank God. What?
As Leah walks inside, the camera pans across long rows of metal storage lockers. Most of them are shut tight, except for a small cluster near the center that are hanging open. Confused, she walks over and begins closing each one, making sure the doors latch properly. Everything seems normal as she steps back, but seconds later, from a short distance away, the camera captures something unsettling. One of the lockers she had just secured begins to creak. Slowly, the metal door pulls itself open wide before stopping on its own, that there's no one near it, and whatever caused it never reveals itself. On March 8, 2023, Casey Lee was home with her family when her son suddenly ran out of the. He kept pointing toward the end of the hall, insisting his dad come see something right away. His panic didn't feel playful or exaggerated. It felt focused. Watch closely.
This snack will go international. International. That looks good though, dude. We gotta try that. Alright, start this video. Break the ice. We're gonna break the rice. We're gonna have some rice. Oh. No, that's sick! That's insane! Boy, that's amazing! Wow! Okay, let's go! That's amazing! That feels so trippy too! Yeah, oh, you're crunches! Yeah, you do oil with them. What? I can't grab all the. I'm doing it. What? There you go. Oh, yeah. That's so satisfying. Yeah, that is. I like seeing oil. Ghost. A ghost? That looks amazing. Where? That took.
That shit.
Go get him.
Go get who?
Like that ghost.
What ghost?
It's in there.
I'm all set.
Go get him.
No.
What does the ghost look like?
What's that?
Like that? Okay. Where is he?
It's in there.
And where?
In there.
Here?
Uh-huh.
Further? Is he here? In front of me? Over there? Where? Which way?
In there.
In that room?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going in there.
Want to go sleep?
No, I don't know. You do whatever you want, bud. Want me to turn the light on in the hallway?
Ghost in there.
Huh?
No ghost in there.
There's no ghost in there? Not anymore because the light's on?
It's not going in there.
Someone's going in there?
Yeah. Ghost.
It's a ghost? Is it a nice ghost? Friendly ghost?
Go fight him.
Oh, do what? Am I fighting it? Fight it?
Come here.
What?
Go.
Okay.
No. No. Awesome. We're good? I think we're good.
Okay.
Ghost.
Is it a big ghost or a little ghost?
Big ghost.
A big ghost?
Yeah.
Is it a boy ghost or a girl ghost?
Big ghost.
A big ghost. Okay.
In there.
We're almost there.
According to Casey, this wasn't the first time her son had noticed something no one else could see. Months earlier, he pointed to a corner near a shoe rack, insisting someone was standing there. They brushed it off until the motion-activated light suddenly turned on by itself, followed by the sound of something shifting across the tiles exactly where he'd pointed. Since then, they've learned not to dismiss him so quickly. That's why this latest incident has been bothering them. The very next day, both family dogs began barking aggressively at the same corner of the house, right at the end of the hallway where her son had been staring. Whatever caught his attention? The animals seemed to sense it too, and until more updates are shared, this case remains completely unexplained. A passenger riding a late-night train began filming after noticing something deeply unsettling inside the carriage. At first glance, it looked like an ordinary figure sitting silently among the empty seats. But the longer the camera lingered, the more wrong it felt.
Right, speak to staff or text police 61016. We'll sort it. Right, speak to staff or text police 61016. We'll sort it.
Some viewers believe the figure didn't enter the train at all. They claim it appeared suddenly, as if it slipped in from somewhere it didn't belong. Another place, another moment. And if that's true, then the real question is how long it had already been there before anyone noticed. An explorer visits Presidio de San Sabah, a site many believe is haunted not just by legend, but by a violent past. Built in the mid-17th century, the Presidio became the scene of brutal conflict involving Spanish settlers and local tribes, with historical accounts describing attacks, torture, and lives lost on this very ground. Late at night, while exploring the ruins alone, the man records with his phone in one hand and a flashlight in the other. As he scans the corner of a stone structure, something completely unexpected enters the frame. A dark shadow suddenly appears. Watch closely.
Here's the room I'm in. There's the K2. There's the REM pod. There's the wall all the way to the corner.
What makes this moment unsettling is where he's standing. He's backed into a corner, with no nearby objects that could cast a moving shadow like that. You can clearly see both of his hands, the phone steady in one, the flashlight fixed in the other. Yet the shadow moves in the opposite direction. When viewers pause the footage frame by frame, another detail stands out. For a split second, the shadow appears to have horn-like protrusions, giving it a distinctly disturbing shape. That detail alone sparked intense debate online. Considering the violent history of Presidio de San Sabah, a place marked by fear and suffering, some believe what he captured never truly left these grounds. So what do you think? Just a trick of light, or something that still lingers there? A man named Kyle is dealing with the same disturbing problem that's followed him for months. It starts with knocking, not in one place, but moving from room to room, always trailing him, always getting closer. This time though, Kyle managed to trace one of those knocks to his basement, and when he checked to see what caused it, what he found only made things confusing. Take a look.
Gosh dang it, I'm hearing that knocking sound again. There it is. Where is it coming from? Right there, right there. It's coming from this door. Shit. What the f***? That's where it's been coming from. Somebody's knocking on that, or something is knocking on this freaking door. But there's nobody there, obviously. Well, at least I now know where it's coming from.
There was no one there, no footsteps, no sound of anyone running away, not even a shadow slipping out of view. That left Kyle with only one explanation. Whatever is knocking isn't human. And honestly, after everything he's experienced in that house, that shouldn't even be surprising anymore. This is the same man who once woke up to find a dark figure standing motionless in his crawl space, frozen in place as if it had been waiting. The same man who's heard children laughing late at night, despite having no kids. Who's seen objects shift in his attic, felt footsteps moving inside his walls, watched items fall in his garage, and small things slide across the floor on their own. And worst of all, his home camera once captured a figure standing silently beside his bed while he slept, vanishing moments before he woke up. From the crawl space, to the attic, to the garage, to his bedroom, and now the basement. Every incident follows the same disturbing pattern. Whatever is inside Kyle's house moves freely, watches quietly, and reveals itself only when it wants to. And until Kyle shares more updates, this remains one of the most unsettling cases yet. Late one night around 10 p.m., a doorbell camera was quietly recording as usual. The street outside looked completely normal. Empty road, dim streetlights, no movement at all. For several moments, nothing happens. Then the calm doesn't last. Slowly, something begins to appear at the edge of the frame. A pale, semi-transparent figure drifts into view near the road, moving in a way that doesn't resemble someone simply walking by. Almost simultaneously, a bright orb floats smoothly across the camera's view, gliding past the lens before vanishing. The figure continues forward, crossing part of the driveway without reacting. No glance at the camera, no change in pace. It simply keeps moving until it fades into the darkness down the street. There were no neighbors outside, no passing cars, and nothing else on the footage to explain what was captured. When the homeowners checked immediately after the alert, the street was completely empty. Whatever passed, that camera left no footprints, no shadows, and no explanation behind. This piece of CCTV footage was recorded inside an employee's office long after work hours, and what it captures has left viewers deeply unsettled. The building had reopened following a fire 2 years earlier, but since then, staff reported strange activity. Objects falling from desks, faint whispers when no one else was around, and computers powering on by themselves. Most of it went unexplained, until one night, when one of those incidents was finally caught on camera. In the footage, the office is completely empty and silent when something unusual appears near the floor. A faint, pale wisp glides across the room, twisting slightly as it moves before slowly rising and fading into nothing. There are no lights reflecting, no insects, and no visible source that could explain it. After reviewing the clip, the office manager confirmed that no one had entered or exited the building that night. Even stranger, motion sensors had only been triggered in that single room. Since then, several employees refused to work there alone. Among staff, it's now known simply as the haunted office, the place where something from before the fire may have never left. A man named Leandro shared a series of creepy videos online from inside his home, claiming that what he was recording was real paranormal activity. According to Leandro, everything began after he bought a decorative doll and placed it in his kitchen. At first, it seemed like nothing more than a strange little decoration, but not long after it arrived, the atmosphere inside the house began to change. Strange noises started coming from the kitchen, objects seemed to move, and little by little, Leandro became convinced that something had come into the home with that doll.
I bought this doll to store plastic bags, but she doesn't like anyone looking at her.
I'm not staying here alone. Holy shit, everything's falling over here. My mom went to get a broom out of nowhere here, alone in the house. And I got spooked. I thought I was seeing things. My mom went to get the broom to poke it. Turn her around. I'm gonna throw this thing out. I'm gonna burn it. Careful. Turn her to the front. Now turn her for aí. Aí. What do you mean? I don't know. The thing started moving out of nowhere. Look. Look at her hand. Joga fora.
Para, amigo, pelo amor de Deus.
In one clip, Leandro wakes up after hearing a loud crash coming from the kitchen. Terrified, he calls for his mother and asks her to come with him to check what happened. But when they step into the kitchen, they notice something deeply unsettling. The doll attached to the wall appears to move on its own, almost like it is no longer just an object, but something watching them. After that night, Leandro says the activity became much more aggressive. The strange sounds grew louder, the disturbances became harder to ignore, and one terrifying incident nearly pushed him to leave the house for good.
Escuta. Esse barulho aqui é a máquina que tá lavando lá fora, gente. Mas escuta isso daqui, olha isso. I decided to record for you guys one more time. Olha aí, olha aí, escuta. Caraca, velho, olha isso. Caiu. Tô achando que eu tô zoando, cara. Eu tô sozinho em casa ainda. Minha mãe não chegou ainda. Aqui não tem ninguém no banheiro. Vou até fechar, pode. Gente, na verdade, vou deixar acesa a luz do banheiro aqui, gente. Pra vocês verem que não tem ninguém aqui.
Deixar acesa a luz. Olha isso, gente. Caiu. Caiu tudo, cara. Cara, como que pode isso, meu? Só caiu só a parte de baixo. Vou mostrar pra vocês que eu tô sozinho em casa. Minha mãe não tá aqui, gente. Vocês podem ver. Ó, a máquina tá lavando roupa ali. E olha isso, gente. Cara, ó. E é isso, pra vocês verem. É brincadeira ou não? Cara, eu vou mostrar um quarto aqui pra vocês, ó. Eu tô sozinho. Ó. Não tem nem como tá embaixo da cama, gente. Porque aqui não cabe nada embaixo da cama. Muito menos dentro do guarda-roupa. Onde vai entrar alguém embaixo do guarda-roupa? Tá doido? Olha isso, embaixo da cama. Vê se tem alguém aqui. Não tem como. Ali tem uns tapetes velho aqui. Sacola. Mas agora... Olha isso, gente. Meu Deus do céu, velho. Caiu tudo. Eu tô bilado aqui, cara. Hoje vai ser um dia que eu vou dormir o quê? Com a porta aberta. A porta aberta não. Com a casa toda acesa. Só pode, né? Caramba, velho. Quase caí. Que isso? Cara, vocês viram isso, cara? Pelo amor de Deus, o que foi isso? A cadeira, gente.
Once again, Leandro wakes up in the middle of the night after hearing loud noises coming from the kitchen. When he goes to investigate, he finds pots and pans scattered across the floor, as if something had violently thrown them across the room. Trying to prove he is alone, Leandro walks through the house with his camera, showing that no one else seems to be there. But then something attacks. Out of nowhere, a chair is suddenly hurled toward him with shocking force. Leandro panics instantly, and honestly, it is easy to understand why. What began as strange noises and a creepy doll has now turned into what looks like dangerous poltergeist activity, caught on camera. After that experience, Leandro became convinced that whatever was attached to the doll may have entered the house with it, and over time it had become stronger, angrier, and far more violent. So did this haunting really begin with the doll, or was something already hiding inside Leandro's home, long before he brought it in? As always, you decide.
Só pode, man. Caramba, velho, quase caí.
A group of friends had gathered for what was supposed to be a simple house party. While waiting for the rest of their guests to arrive, a few of them stepped outside to pass the time, joking around and playing games in the yard. Everything felt normal, until one of them noticed something in the darkness. Watch closely.
What?
For just a split second, something appears that it's large, dark, and unmistakably has horns. Whatever it was close enough to be seen clearly, and close enough to make everyone freeze. The party ended immediately. Everyone went back to their own homes, locked their doors, and the night was over before it ever really began. After the video went viral, reactions were divided. Some viewers claimed they had seen similar footage online, describing the same horned silhouette appearing in backyards, wooded areas, and along rural roads, always briefly, always watching. Others argued it had to be a prank, suggesting one of the friends might have been wearing something to scare the group, but no one has ever come forward to take credit. So until more footage surfaces, or more sightings are reported, whatever appeared that night remains unexplained. What do you think? Was it just a prank caught at the perfect angle, or something that didn't want to be seen for long? A woman wakes up at 3 in the morning after hearing something outside her bedroom door. Something she cannot explain. Still exhausted, with watery eyes and fear written all over her face, she grabs her phone and starts recording from inside her room. She tells viewers she has to be awake in just 3 hours. But no matter what is happening on the other side of that door, she is not opening it, and she is definitely not going out to check. Watch closely.
Son las
y se le está dando por correr en el pasillo. No pienso abrir la puerta, no pienso ir a fijarme, son las 3 de la mañana. Yo me tengo que levantar en 3 horas y me despertó a escucharlo correr. No para.
Throughout the entire clip, a strange sound can be heard, coming from the hallway, just beyond her bedroom door. It does not stop. It does not fade away. It just continues, as if something is moving around right outside her room. Some viewers connected the timing to what many call the devil's hour, around 3 a.m., when paranormal activity is often believed to grow stronger and the atmosphere inside a home feels more vulnerable. The explanation could be more physical. Maybe someone or something was actually in the hallway. But whatever was on the other side, she refused to open that door. And honestly, can you blame her?
En 3 horas y me despertó a escucharlo correr. No para.
Alan was filming from a distance, focused on a long abandoned building that had clearly been left to decay. The structure was partially destroyed, weathered, forgotten for decades. As he slowly scanned the top floor, something caught his attention. Near the edge of the building, a shadowy figure stood in place. Its head moved slowly, naturally, not stiff, not glitching like a shadow usually would. Even from that distance, the movement felt deliberate, as if whatever it was aware. Alan didn't move. He stayed where he was and carefully zoomed in, trying to understand what he was seeing.
No la hagas. Ahí está arriba. Ahí está arriba. Ahí está arriba esa cosa. Saca. Ahí está. Pero ese es negro. Miren. Miren. No manches. No manches. Sácate a bañar. Ahí está esa cosa. No debes de estar en este lugar. Ahí tengo el zoom, Vámonos. Ahí está. Es como si fuera un animal. No la hagas. Oh. Están viendo, sí están viendo. Ahí está esa chingadera. No la hagan. Qué... Algo hicieron aquí. No me había fijado. No me había fijado, eso no lo había visto. Ahí está esa cosa arriba. Ahí está esa cosa arriba.
As the camera tightened, the figure seemed to turn slightly, almost as if it was looking back at him. That's when more detail came into view. Curly gray hair could be seen on its head, catching the light just enough to rule out a trick of shadow. The longer the figure stared, the more uncomfortable the moment became. Then the footage ends, leaving viewers to wonder whether Alan captured a real person, standing somewhere no one should be, or something far more disturbing, silently watching him from above. Nate says his dog has been trying to warn him that something isn't right inside the house. For a while, he didn't think much of it, but one night, while Nate was home alone watching TV, something happened that made him stop and pay attention. Watch closely.
So I'm here watching football in this light. Keeps going on and off. I was just up there going to the bathroom. Like, I checked the bulb, and the switch is Right there. It just started doing this.
If it were only the lights flickering on and off, some might say he's overreacting, but it doesn't stop there. I end several of Nate's past clips. Faint whispers can be heard, low, quiet, and clearly not coming from the television. There's also the moment when a knife suddenly flew across the room, even though no one was anywhere near it. And then there's his dog. The way it refuses to enter certain corners of the house, freezing in place, growling, or leaving the room entirely. When signs like this start stacking up, sounds, movement, objects being thrown, and an animal reacting, it begins to feel like something is building. For now, Nate has no explanation for what's happening inside his home, and until more answers come to light, this case remains completely unsolved. Colin Lego was out walking his dog when things took an unexpected turn. Out of nowhere, his dog suddenly pulled hard toward an abandoned church graveyard, almost cartoonish, Scooby-Doo style. Colin wasn't exactly thrilled with the idea. The sun hadn't even fully risen yet, and the place already felt wrong. Still, he figured it might be funny to record the moment. But whatever humor he expected didn't last long, because seconds later, that laugh turned into pure panic. Take a look.
Hey, what's wrong? Saffron. She does that when she sees someone. Like a human. Don't be doing that, there's no one there. Oh, God. When she sees another walker, she does bark. And there's no one here. This is the old part of the churchyard. What is that sound? She's up for it. What's that sound, Saf? You got your leg under your lead, you Wally. Come on. For a little dog, she's quite stubborn. There's nothing over there. There's nothing over there. Come on, let's go. You found a stick? What is that sound? Yeah, I know. No, you're desperate to go that way, Saf. We can't go that way. There's no path that way. There's no path that way. Probably imminent death. Absolutely nothing. Wait. What was that that went past the lens? Was it a bug?
Safi the dog reacted almost immediately. According to Colin, she only behaves like this when she sees someone, and it turns out she may not have been the only one who noticed something that morning. At first, some viewers suggested it could be fog. Others said it might be Colin's breath. But Colin was quick to show that the air was mild, not cold enough for either explanation to make sense. So if it wasn't fog and it wasn't breath, what exactly did they see? Whatever it was, the Scooby Gang didn't stick around long. But not before one final moment made things even worse. Listen closely. It sounds like a small child quietly saying, "Little dog." Colin didn't stay to investigate further, and honestly, most people wouldn't have either. Huge thanks to Colin for sharing his footage, because whatever followed them that morning still has people uneasy. Reddit user Runts with Scissors believes their brother-in-law's home may be haunted. For the past few months, he had been hearing strange noises outside the house, late at night, almost like someone was walking around the property. But every time someone went outside to check, there was nothing there. No person. No animal. No obvious explanation. Over time, the noises started getting worse. Eventually, it sounded like whatever was outside was coming closer, even stepping onto the porch. After another night of hearing the same creepy sounds, the brother-in-law decides to install a security camera facing the front porch, hoping to finally catch what was causing it. Then, late one night, the noises begin again, and the camera records something disturbing. In the footage, the front gate suddenly opens on its own. Then, only seconds later, the porch swing begins rocking back and forth, almost like someone invisible has just entered the house. When the brother-in-law reviews the footage, he becomes convinced that something paranormal has happened. After months of hearing unexplained footsteps and strange movement outside the house, this seemed like the first real evidence that something unseen might be visiting his porch at night. When the video was later uploaded to Reddit, many commenters were skeptical. Some believed wind could have pushed the gate open and caused the swing to move. But according to the original poster, that explanation does not seem likely because the gate was latched. And if you watch the footage closely, nothing else nearby appears to be moving with the wind. So what caused the gate to open, and why did the porch swing move right after? Was it a simple draft, a loose latch, or did the camera capture real paranormal activity outside the home? As always, you decide.